Greenergy ethanol stoves and fuel. Enjoy cleaner, healthier and affordable cooking. Cook your food in less than 2,000 shillings per day. No charcoal. Stop deforestation. We are looking for agents across Uganda. Greenergy, Bible Corner.
Vehicles to start using digital number plates. Inter-security agencies prohibit musicians from moving in gangs, limited to 5 people only. FDC party leadership at Katonga evaluates election strategies for a peaceful transition. And in sports, the national netball team, the Shikren, starts training ahead of the Vitality Netball Nations Cup. Hello there and welcome once again. We're coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. In sign language, it is Senyomo Yusuf and I am Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has cleared the bill of the late Besisira David, a resident of Chartanga Parish, Kijunjubya Sub-County, Masindi District, who passed away at Nsambya Hospital after being admitted there on the 30th of October 2024. Unfortunately, he succumbed to injuries on the 28th of December 2024. Now, by the time of his death, the hospital bill was amounting to 100 million, and the family had made payments amounting to 34 million shillings for the hospital bills. Now, after his demise, the balance amounting to over 60 million shillings, they mobilized, plus selling of family belongings and property. However, the bill remained at 50 million and the hospital could not release the body. According to a letter UBC has seen dated 3rd January 2025 by the family, they reached an agreement with hospital management and the body was released for burial arrangements as the remaining balance be brought afterwards. Now, the hospital replied to the letter negatively and the body was released and he was buried on the 5th of January 2025 in Masindi. Now, upon President Museveni seeing the letter in the New Vision newspaper, he has now cleared the hospital bill of 50 million Ugandan shillings. Now, the money has been delivered at St. Francis in Nsambya Hospital by State Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Balamba Rugahara Atinyi, and handed it over to the Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Andrew Sech-Toleko.
After a negotiation between the deceased family, wife Tibamanya Jacqueline, the widow, and the Alicham Patrick, the next of kin, they wrote a letter dated 3rd January to Nsambya Hospital requesting for a waiver. Unfortunately, the hospital refused to do a waiver. They only allowed a discount of 10%, which is 5.6 million, leaving the family with no option but to run to the press. So in today's New Vision, there's an article running for the family seeking hope from well-wishers who can support the family clear the Nsambya bill and also have their loved one's body laid at rest. Fortunately, the president was reading the papers today and he saw that appealing story. He has decided to clear the outstanding bill totaling to 50 million shilling to Nsambya Hospital. And I'm impressed that finally Nsambya Hospital agreed, the deceased family, to proceed with the burial. They handed over the body and burial was conducted yesterday. So
we allowed them to take the body after they paid an extra 10 million on their bill. The body was released to them and we said after a funeral everything is down, come back and let's have a discussion. And that's what has actually attracted His Excellency, the President, to come and cover. So we're grateful to His Excellency and Honorable Minister here, Balam, who have understood that the hospital also suffers loss, and they felt that, well, in this case, they could support the family, but also support the hospital not to go down under such circumstances.
Now, African governments need to plan and develop agriculture as a major sector of employment and source of livelihood. Now, this appeal comes at a time when a meeting of African heads of state is due to take place in Kampala. The Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebaze, says the summit will adopt technical discussions to approve the blueprint of the continent that will run from 2026 to 2035. Henry Okrot reports.
In what has been described as 3 Fs, forests for the environment, feed for animals, and food for human beings, climate-smart agriculture is programmed to dominate discussions at the African Union Summit on Food Security.
So climate farming methodologies, precision farming, technologies that encourage, for example, little usage of pesticides, all of those, it's what the policy prescribes. You cannot say we are progressing well if our agriculture policy is not promoting climate smart farming.
This is because agriculture is one common characteristic defining most African countries. The extraordinary summit on comprehensive Africa agriculture development programs will serve the purpose where majority of the population in the continent are into farming.
So there is nothing much their governments can do if they don't prioritize the planning and the development of agriculture as a major sector of employment for the population, but also as a major source of livelihood.
This also includes protecting Uganda's natural resources.
It is the joint effort of African leaders to safeguard and protect the fish, because like the population is increasing day and night, and everyone wants to go and pick that natural resource without putting much effort to take care of what God has given us. They just want to go and pick, and everyone wants to enter with the dangerous fishing methods. So I think heads of state who are coming together should be able to agree on the key fishing methods.
The success of this will also require bringing youth on board.
I have noted that the young people, the majority of young people, are not working. There are very few people who are producing food, and within no time, we are going to look for food everywhere. And it's unfortunate already, some countries that have got, desert countries are now starting to feed us with all the green belt. So we need to talk to Africans to understand that God has given us everything.
It does not only come to discuss agriculture, it creates market linkages. Our farmers, our producers, our exporters, our processors, some of them will be exhibiting in Munyonyo, and we will discuss how, as a continent, we can trade together. It does not make sense for Africa, united under the AU, to have some countries experiencing scarcity and have some countries experiencing food bumper harvest with no market. So the concept, the idea of operationalizing the common market idea, the continental market, CFTA, becomes in hand with this summit and with this policy.
So Uganda had to ensure successful bidding for this summit to be held in Kampala.
So the declaration at the end that will be adopted will be called the Kampala Declaration. The Kampala Declaration will succeed the Malabo Declaration. The Malabo Declaration had succeeded the Maputo So it's a 10-year policy framework.
The African Union Extraordinary Summit on Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Programs will be held on the theme Sustainable and Resilient Agri-Food Systems for a Healthy and Prosperous Africa. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Meanwhile, Traffic Police has issued guidelines for the forthcoming Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program Summit in Uganda, starting January 9th to 11th, 2025 at Speak Resort, Munyonyo. Now, the event, organized by the African Union Commission and hosted by the government of Uganda, will focus on the post-Malabo Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program, CADAP. Now, the public is called upon to collaborate with traffic officers who will be regulating traffic flow throughout the summit. Meanwhile, several diversions have been announced, especially along the summit route, which is Entebbe Expressway.
The extraordinary summit is expected to draw participation from the 49 AU or African Union member states. And this event is expected to attract over 2,000 participants. It's important, therefore, to note that certain roads leading to the Speak Resort Munyonyo will be closed to ensure secure and easy access for dignitaries and participants. Traffic will therefore be diverted to alternative routes to minimize congestion and ensure a steady flow of traffic if need arises. The main routes for the summit will be the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway to Resort Munyonyo, and this will be the main summit route. The next one will be the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway, Northern Bypass, Binaisa Road, then traffic, Minimalago traffic lights, then to Old Shira Road. And this will be the route for the delegates that will be residing that side. No motorcycles will be allowed to access Kajansi Munyonyo Spa. We urge all travelers with flights at Entebbe International Airport to plan their journeys in advance to avoid any inconvenience or delays.
To other news now, and issuing of digital registration number plates for private and public motor vehicles in the country has commenced. The Chief Licensing Officer of Motor Vehicles at the Ministry of Works and Transport, Katushabe Winston, says the exercise comes 3.5 years since government signed an agreement with MS Joint Stock Company Global Security to set up an intelligent transport monitoring system. We have more in this story.
Issuing of digital registration plates for private vehicles marks the implementation of the third phase of the Intelligent Transport Monitoring System project. The Chief Licensing Officer of Motor Vehicles at the Ministry of Works and Transport, Katushabe Winston, says within 2 years, all vehicles and motorcycles in Uganda will have transitioned to the new digital registration plates.
You recall that the first phase was with the government. We started with the government of Uganda, vehicles, and the process still is ongoing, but we continue rolling on other categories. That was 1st November 2023. Last year, 2024, 1st November, we started phase 2 for motorcycles, which is also ongoing. And then today, which is 6th of January, we have first-time registration for private vehicles. And then we expect that within 2 years now, all vehicles in Uganda within 2 years, should have transited from the existing regime to the new digital registration plates.
Ministry of Works and Transport has already dispatched a team of experts to key border points of the country to achieve this target.
Right now, we have our teams in Malaba and Mutukura, because those are vehicles which are registered at the port of entry, Mombasa and then Dar es Salaam, which we can categorize as IM4. Those ones, once they pay taxes at the ports, so as soon as they approach the border, immediately they are registered. So we have our teams already there, Ministry of Works and Transport. We have the team from GS to fix the registration plates.
In November 2023, the Intelligent Transport Monitoring System project was launched and digital number plates were rolled out, starting with the government vehicles. In November 2024, the system was rolled out for motorcycles and tricycles. Since then, not all government vehicles were transitioned to the new digital registration plates. Commissioner Katshabe explains why.
I mean, for those entities which had the money, that's why you see the compliance has gone high. Now, we have agreed that all accounting officers now, starting 2025-2026, must make sure that the budget for replacing number plates or registering new vehicles is in place. There is no choice because, as I told you, we are now phasing out the old regime and replacing it with the digital registration plates.
Government settled for 714,000 shillings for those newly registered vehicles, while those switching from the old plates to the new number plates will pay 150,000 shillings. Motorcycle registration will cost 50,000 shillings. The objective for installing new digital registration plates is to combat motor vehicle-related crime and reduce road carnage. Diano Olwen-Peters, UBC News in Kampala.
Now, intersecurity agencies have prohibited musicians from traveling with gangs and advised them to move with no more than 5 people. Police spokesperson for Kampala Metropolitan, Patrick Onyango, told the media in Kampala that collaboration with security and stakeholders in the music industry will minimize violence.
The security directive in the music industry aims to address the violence that occurred during concerts over the recent festive season. The directive prohibits musicians from traveling with gangs.
So if you're an artist there and you think you are going to move with more than 5, we shall stop you at any time and ask to sort out yourself. So be advised that you are only now allowed to move with those.
In the regulations, artists are limited to moving with only 5 people, and all events must be secured by police with additional support from private security.
The DJ, because the artists, they normally have their own DJ. They have the manager. The artists normally have their manager. They have their secretary. They have their treasurer. And maybe one person, security. Then the artist, the 6th.
In response to claims of police protection for Patrick Murwana, also known as Alien Skin, during violent incidents, the police have denied the allegations.
You said we don't follow anybody. We are independent institution. And that's why we are here, to serve each and everybody equally, whether Palazzo, whether Alien Skin, whether Fika Gaza, whether who. So long as you follow the law, we are here to serve you equally.
Security officials want all stakeholders in the music industry to collaborate with the police to ensure a safer environment for their activities. In other news, Uganda prisons have reported that 4 individuals attempted to escape during the festive season. During the pursuit, one person was shot and later died.
Was the prison number 7 convict 711 of 2022, and he was on a case of rape. He jumped over the perimeter fence, and of course the sentries tried to disable him while he was running, and unfortunately he succumbed to the bullet wounds.
The prison service also announced that the standby Class 1 status declared at the start of the festive season remains in effect until 18th of January. Abdul Nasser Lubwama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
News Tonight will now take a short break, but we'll be returning with much more. Do stay with us.
To be a winner, it requires that you exceed all the limits of mankind and womankind. But when you play with MTN Momo, winning is easy. Simply get your phone and use the Momo app or dial *165*3#, enter merchant code, enter amount, enter your Momo PIN, and pay. Congratulations! Your stomach is full, and now you stand a chance to win mobile money with MTN Momo.
Tuliku groundi, Blascon, paint and win. Yes, yeah, Blascon, paint and win. The kuku roundi. Chicho, buy paint worth 100K. Get a scratch card. SMS the code to 7197. Stand a chance to win instant airtime, 1 million shillings bully day there, or a share of a 3 million shillings jackpot each week. What do you want the brand new bodas, tuk-tuks, and so much more? Catch the paint and win action every Monday on Bukede One, NBS, and Sanyuka TV. Blascon, color your world.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. Now, NUP President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has called upon all party members to actively participate in the upcoming 2026 elections by contesting for leadership positions at every level. He emphasized that this is a chance to transform the lives of Ugandans. Mr. Kyagulanyi was addressing a press conference held at the party headquarters at Makerere, Kavule. We have more in this story.
NUP President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has highlighted the country's political journey and the need for change. He was addressing members, including some new MPs, at NUP headquarters in Makerere, Kavule.
1962, our mothers, when they were young, our grandfathers and grandmothers celebrated, they jubilated because finally the rule of foreigners, of aliens, of whites was coming to an end, and their own children were taking charge of their destiny.
He urged NUP members to contest for all seats, from village councils to national positions.
I encourage you to register, to vote. Don't only register, but get involved. Take this over. Take charge of this. Get involved and vie for all these elections. I've said it many times. This is not only to the youth, but you people are the majority.
Kyagulanyi reiterated that NUP stands for unity, emphasizing that Uganda is a non-discriminatory country, regardless of race, religion, or tribe. He warned party members against neglecting responsibility, but instead engage with their constituents and attend party meetings.
We are not a political party, we just have a political party. And that political party, we the people of Uganda have a political party. The political party does not have us. So it does not matter how close you are to the leadership of the political party, you must be closer to the people of Uganda.
Kawempe Mayor Emmanuel Serunjogi stressed accountability, assuring voters that the power ultimately lies with them to choose leaders who have fulfilled their duty.
The president of NUP has declared that NUP is going to participate in elections. But the fact that he has told us to go and compete in all elective positions, that signifies the will to allow us to go and contest. So it's to serve those who have elective positions, who have served, It's time to be rewarded. Those who absconded and ran away, it's time now to answer.
We are in the power of the people. Once the people claim about any candidate that he has not worked, he has not been on the ground, the party as itself will not hesitate. Will decide, will do what the people want.
Sekaja Jamil compiled this report.
Now, a section of former National Unity Platform Party convicts has denounced and distanced itself from the accusations made by one Muhyiddin Kakoza Sanya, who accuses the Youth and Children Affairs Minister Balam Barugahara Atenyi for coercing them to plead guilty to charges of treachery and treason. Addressing the media at PLU headquarters in Naguru, the seven have watered down the allegations made by their colleagues, referring to them as baseless. Take a watch.
On 23rd October 2024, marking the military court-martial, convicted 16 National Unity Platform supporters who were facing treason charges.
That a sentence of 4 years imprisonment is appropriate.
The 16 pleaded guilty to the charges, hence a sentence of 3 months in custody. This was followed by the presidential pardon, a move which set free all the 16 convicts. Since then, there have been counter-accusations among convicts, with others hailing government for the pardon as others play fall.
Endagaano gye nakola ne gavumenti baatugamba tuveeyo tuvume Kyagulanyi. Ekintu kyendabanga kinzitooweredde.
The latest accusations have been made by Muhyiddin Kakoza Sanya, who pins ministers Balam Barugahara and Nakungwi Jennifer alias Full Figure for coercing them to plead guilty to the charges on account of offering them money and property.
Abasajja baatubuzaabuza nga baasindika Full Figure mu kkomera najja ne miliyoni 5 n'atugulirira n'ekigendererwa ekyokutuwa enguzi.
However, a section of the former NUP convicts have downplayed the allegations.
Njomu kubawandiika ebbaluwa nga ngiwandiikira minisita w'abavubuka Bukulu Balamu. Njomu kubagiwandiika era nagiwandiika ebbaluwa ezirimu za mirundi 3 nga nsaba naye yennyini anneeyimirire nsobole okusonyiyibwa baleme kujja balimbalimba nti gundi yajja wano n'atusasula ssente. Nze ekitala gye nali abo saabalabako bakulu wabula nze nakukutanga ne mpandika ebbaluwa zange ne nzituma abantu basobole zituusewo omuntu oyo. Abantu abo tebajjako gye ndi.
Omuntu yenna yajja mu kkomera n'akyalira n'aŋŋamba nti Mafaabi twagala okkirize omusango tukuwe ssente bwe ziti oddeyo bweru obeewo ekiti. Nedda, nze nanoonya abantu abo nga ndaba siva mu kkomera.
Addressing media at the Patriotic League of Uganda head offices in Naguru, Kampala, 7 among the 16 supporters have clarified that government gave them 5 million shillings each as a rehabilitation package, contrary to the allegations made by Sanya.
Sente bazituwa ffenna okuleka omuntu omu ataafuna Ruta Olivia naye abasigadde ffenna twakola ki? Twafuna akasente era abamu ku bo balina kye bakakolamu kubasaanyu lwazifuna yali talina waabeera ng'asula muzigiti yagula piki alina piki kwavumira abantu ate okitegedde era bw'agamba nti okutuwa ssente ezo kyali kikyamu piki y'abasajja agizeeyo kuba ssente bazimuwa n'agula piki kwatambulira kati avuga piki.
Minister Balam Barugahara has watered down the allegations, proposing that Sanya and the likes needs counseling and rehabilitation.
Find time also and meet Sanya and his group. I'll find time, but I want to retaliate and to confirm that I've never, or nobody in government has ever negotiated with any of the jailed prisoners, and nobody has ever pledged to give them anything, because they are supposed indeed to give us probably. Because how would you give someone who has been exonerated of a crime, someone who has confessed, someone who has admitted of a crime? So I can't claim we promised or pledged anything. So I want to thank the 7 who have come out to clear the air in that regard. We do not have any whatsoever, no pledge made. I thank the President for having released the others.
These include Simon Kijambu, Swaibo Katabi, David Mafabi, Seguja Rashid, Ronald Kijambu, Muganza Joseph, and Mwanguzi Paul.
Nebaza muganda waffe, CDF, mukama waffe, Jeno Muhozi, olw'okusobola nga yatusembeza ng'abaana n'atufuula mikwano gye n'atusonyiwa.
Okutegeeza eggwanga nti Balamu Bawugari alangibwa Wemage talina muntu n'omu gwe yasuubiza ssente, tiyatusuubiza ssente kukkiriza misango gino. Emisango twagikkiriza okuva ku ntobo y'emitima gyaffe nti twagizza. Balamu teri gwe yasuubiza ssente, era aboogera nti yabasuubiza ssente bambi boogera bya bulimba.
Fulufiga n'atuyita n'atugamba pulezidenti yabasonyiye era abawadde n'entandikwa mu ddeeyo mukole. Miliyoni 5 saanya zayogerako. Saakola nazo ndagaano nti pulezidenti ampadde ssente nzikiriza omusango obaani. Ssente baazimpa kuddayo kola mbeeraawo nga siri idle.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Now, Forum for Democratic Change, FDC party leadership at Katonga, is evaluating strategies to engage in elections for the purpose of advancing a peaceful transition. The acting president, FDC Katonga, Erias Lukwago, told the media in Kampala that conversation with all forces of change will address the issue of abductions and human rights violations.
2025 is a crucial year in Uganda's politics as the country gears for 2026 general elections. The leadership of Forum for Democratic Change Party Katonga faction says without an independent electoral commission, judiciary and human rights commission, the 2026 presidential election will be a hard event.
Orchestrated shenanigans in the general court martial, where prisoners of conscience are coerced to plead guilty, accused persons denied their constitutionally guaranteed right to effective legal representation. No, it's our strong conviction that any meaningful conversation and efforts should be geared towards addressing these critical issues. That's where we are putting emphasis as the leadership at Katonga.
The faction is also evaluating strategies to engage in the elections to advance a protracted struggle. On dissolving the FDC party by March, Lukwago has given Electoral Commission up to 31st January to issue them with a certificate of registration for their new party, People's Front for Freedom.
To move into another outfit called the PAFF was basically informed by this long-standing commitment to this cause of a grand reset, to have a country that works for us, where the sovereignty of the people reigns supreme. In a case, subsection 4 is clear, is categorical. Subsection 4 of section 7, you issued a notice within 30 days of submission of the papers, inviting members of the public who may have any objections to the registration of that political entity to do so within 14 days, short of which the EC proceeds to issue a certificate. To note that we have entered 2025 without a certificate in our hands, contrary to the law.
Lukwago also commented on the Supreme Court announcement of a dual criminal justice system where appeals from convictions by court-martial shall not be entertained by courts of judicature.
Those who are going to the general court-martial, the Supreme Court said, please, your final appellate court is the General Court-Martial Appeal Court. Nothing beyond that. Once you go through that process, you are convicted, you will not find your way to the mainstream courts of judicature for rescue. And that is a recipe for disaster. Controlling all tools and weapons of persecution, like the General Court-Martial, using domestic and international mechanisms at our disposal.
Meanwhile, the party is happy that the lead counsel in the case of Dr. Kizza Besigye, former FDC President Martha Karua from Kenya, has been granted a temporary certificate of practice as hearing of the case resumes tomorrow, 7th Jan, at Court Martial in Makindye. I'm Navka Farida and Mike Bakablindi in Kampala.
And in relation to that story there, Uganda Law Council has granted a temporary practicing certificate to Dr. Besigye lead lawyer Martha Karua from Kenya to represent him in court. Now, the decision allows Ms. Karua to represent Dr. Besigye in the ongoing case at the General Court Martial tomorrow. The council had previously denied Karua's application last month, citing incomplete documentation and political concerns. However, Karua, with the support of the Uganda Law Society led by Isaac Semakadde, appealed the decision. The council, chaired by Court of Appeal Justice Irene Mulyagonja, voted to issue the certificate. Karua sought the license to represent Besigye and Lutale, who were arrested in Kenya on November 16, 2024. Today, she managed to talk to the media.
Uganda Law Council has granted me a temporary license. Larifu Said from the Comoros, and my senior advisor from Nairobi, and all the other people accompanying us, the advocates. We came here to follow the process because there is documentation even after the granting of the license. We are following the documentation. The process has begun. We have been assured that it will be completed early morning so that I can have a license by the time we go to Makindye. So we are hopeful, and it's a good beginning. Yeah. The Lord Mayor, Monsieur Larifu Said, is a visiting jurist from the Comoros. He is here to observe and to observe how the matters are unfolding in their case of Kizza Besigye and Obed Lutale. It's a matter that has attracted international attention, and it's customary in such cases to have jurists from other jurisdictions come to observe. So he is here to observe. He speaks in French, and my senior advisor, who is bilingual, is able to connect us to translate. Yeah.
Martha Karua, Besigye's lead lawyer there. Now, Uganda has been honored with a first stop in Rotary International President Stephanie Uchek's African tour, signaling the country's contributions to Rotary Global Mission. Now, President Stephanie, the second female leader in Rotary's 120-year history, will spend an entire week in Uganda to assess the strides made by Rotary clubs in the region. We have more in this story.
Speaking at the press briefing, Rotary International President Stephanie Uchek urged Uganda's extraordinary achievements in membership growth and contributions to the Rotary Foundation.
I'm talking globally now. How many times we have Rotary magazines and billboards and social media. There are still people in the world who think that Rotary is, it's an acronym, Romeo, rich old men eating out. And look at this table. That is not what Rotary is. So my message to the world is Rotary has changed. We brought in women in the late 80s. We brought in new meeting models that allow us to have satellite clubs and e-clubs and cause-based clubs and interest clubs. So we are different. So what that means is we are meeting people where they are. So anyone who has the heart and the hands for service can find a place in Rotary, can find a place where they fit, can find a place where they belong. And I'm very proud to be serving with the Rotarians here in Uganda. My family of Rotary here is really having impact in the world.
President Stephanie Uchek emphasized Rotary's fundamental mission of peace building.
I'm very anxious to hear more about the new clubs that have formed in Uganda, especially around interest and cause-based clubs. That's really important to us as an organization in getting our message out. I also am very interested, as you heard, in peace building. We're an organization built on the foundation of world understanding and peace. And there are many things that we can do as Rotarians. We cannot stop war. We're not peace brokers. We're peace builders. Everything we do in each one of our areas of focus leads us to creating conditions that are necessary for a peaceful society to exist.
Rotary projects in Uganda have served millions, from polio eradication campaigns to education initiatives and economic empowerment programs.
You may have heard about an initiative called Run for the Nile. Run for the Nile happens every March, and it is spearheaded by one of our Rotary clubs, the Rotary Club of Kampala Central. And the purpose of Run for the Nile is to try to protect the Nile from pollution. So the money that we raise from that run goes towards initiatives that are aiming to protect the Nile. One of them is tree planting at the banks of the Nile around Lake Victoria, because we know that that is very important to prevent erosion, soil erosion going into the Nile. But the other that we are working on now is to prevent or to reduce the plastic pollution in our River Nile.
Uganda's Rotarians are showcasing how Rotary is transforming lives.
We have a project that's targeting ghetto youth in Masindi, and we are working with another organization that is giving them skills, equipping them with skills, welding, plumbing. There are some things in agriculture which will enable them to be able to have jobs, because many of our youth are suffering from unemployment because of the lack of practical skills. So now we are equipping them with skills which can enable them to be self-employed right away.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
To Hoima now, where Hoima Regional Referral Hospital will commission an 8.4 billion shillings intensive care unit facility to serve the entire Bunyoro region. The facility is at 80% completion, and within a few months it will be handed over to the hospital administration with the aim of improving the lives of over 3.5 million people in the region. The facility is constructed by the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Health and Uganda COVID-19 Response and Emergency Preparedness Project, UCREP.
Over 3.5 million people in the 8 districts and a city in Bunyoro sub-region will benefit from the intensive care unit that is due for handover to Hoima Regional Referral Hospital. The hospital director, Dr. Ibrahim Bwaga, says that the facility will serve the people, especially those who move long distance to seek health services.
So for the different facilities, you find one or two of those may be lacking. So patients really move the long distance, and as Hoima Regional Referral Hospital, we are offering the service that is needed. Definitely that comes with challenges, because you can imagine something. A region where a patient has to move 100 kilometers from the hospital. Might cause delays, some of them get complications on the way. But we are grateful because for a long time.
In a guided tour of the 8.4 billion shilling facility, the hospital director noted that the region lacked specialized services and patients were referred to as far as Mulago and Chirudu.
Sending patients over a distance of 200 kilometers would not only waste time to save that life, but it was also costly. It wasn't economic. So that is the result of wastage. That will reduce efficiency of resources that we have. So I'm very pleased to inform you that now the ICU structure has been put up, complete now, and its commissioning and maybe equipping.
So for us as Ministry of Health, we are optimistic and hopeful that this structure, this building and this service is going to improve the lives of our Ugandans, especially in the Bunyoro region. We might not reach 100% in trying to achieve our mandate, but at least we have moved a step ahead. And with more support, with more funding, we know we shall bring more services to the Bunyoro region.
Hoima Hospital also got a fully installed oxygen facility and is estimated to produce more than 100 cylinders daily.
Previously, we were struggling with the meter 8 cylinders per day. And all the units, all the wards need oxygen. Start with theatre, go to medical ward, go to the children's ward. The neonatal ward, those ladies who are born prematurely, they almost entirely given oxygen. Most of it. So we are seeing off that era of lacking oxygen. Sometimes we would get support from national donors.
Other components of the facility to be commissioned is a blood bank that will cater for blood shortage in the region.
The facility is going to collect blood, process it, and all other blood products that we need. And this is going to address the bigger crisis of blood shortages in the region that form the catchment of this region. And the blood is not only for Bunyoro, but if there is a need in Gulu or in Kampala, we can still export blood.
The facility is at 80% completion and will be handed over to the hospital administration later this year in June 2025. Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Stop breathing. To be a winner, you must breathe only when necessary. Breathing is for losers. What is that? Did I give you permission to sweat? You can sweat in your free time. Push the arms straight.
Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165 *3#.
Mera ngenze mbonipa Sam anazanya Ruto ganyiga star 278 then hash kujja kubanga oyingire mu kazannyo nga sente zino zimula wano zina wangula zino wano milioni 10 ebintu nasooka biraba ku TV nange saasoka kikiriza ninga mulaye kino kinzo kubanga kituufu oba yaddala tibya bufere sente zino nazifunye zino nazikoze ki naziwangudde amasanyu nyina mangi ebyoto byange byembadde njagala ngenda bituukiriza.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
This is so much smoke. How you doing? My friends told me about an affordable solution. They're called Greenergy BioStove. Very clean and very safe. Let me call them right away. Go, 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 go.
Wow, can you believe these things are in just 45 minutes?
Greenergy ethanol stoves and fuel. Enjoy cleaner, healthier and affordable cooking. Cook your food in less than 2,000 shillings per day. No charcoal. Stop deforestation. We are looking for agents across Uganda. Greenergy, Bible Corner.
Welcome back from that break. Now let's have a look at the latest in business. The Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda has released their results of the December 2024 Public Accountants examinations, reporting an average pass rate of 51%. At least 6,795 candidates sat for the exams at 7 centers in Arua, Fort Portal, Gulu, Kampala, Mbale, Mbarara and Nkozi.
The authority entrusted unto me, I declare the CPA Uganda December 2024 examination results released.
The December 2024 exam results for the CPA, ATD, and CTA courses are out, showing a slight decline in arithmetic-based subjects, particularly principles of accounting and financial accounting.
Average pass rate was 51% in the December 2024 exams, compared to 54.7% for May 2024, indicating a slight decline in performance.
The number of candidates increased by 6.6%, with 6,795 candidates sitting for the exams. Of these, 94 took the accounting technician's diploma, ATD, 146 pursued the certified tax advisor, CTA course, and 6,555 sat for the certified public accountants, CPA, exams. While releasing the results, ICPAO President Ronald Mutumba advised candidates to revise the provided study materials and grasp the fundamental principles of accountancy to enhance their performance.
For the CTA graduates, you are now qualified to explore the enormous opportunities in tax advisory, including, amongst other things, becoming tax agents registered with the Uganda Revenue Authority. For ATD, you can now enroll for CPA and progress your journey to become a certified public accountant.
Mutumba emphasized that accountants are in high demand in Uganda, but warned against the rise of unqualified practitioners. He urged newly qualified accountants to register with ICPAO.
For those of you who have passed, your hard work has paid off, and you can now progress to the next stage of your professional development. Passing the exam is just part of the journey of professional development. The next part of the journey is for you to apply for membership and become part of the team of regulated professionals.
The chairperson of PAEB, Professor Laura Orobia Aseru, highlighted a general decline in performance in arithmetic-based subjects. She noted that female candidates consistently outperformed their male counterparts.
The striking cause for the poor performance is failing to grasp the basic principles of accounting. There's also the issue of knowing the theory and failing to apply in the context required by the question.
And we've finally come to the end of this second edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV this Monday, the 6th day of January 2025. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Yusuf Senyamo, and I am Rukid Edward Kijanangoma, wishing you a blessed night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
I know.